Is we in this month.
Yo, fellas,
Oh,
ladies, how you guys doing? Today is March 23rd, 2021. This is Shopkulture. I am Twan the Voice, joined by the legendary Mr. Barry Crosby and Dr. Mr. James Hill. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
what's up? I'm about to do a confession like Derek Jacks.
Oh.
I had to, man. Boy, man. Man. Nick Jones got me hipped on. I had to hear a little bit more about that
Horrible.
one. I like that. He had sex but didn't have sex. What does that mean?
We had a sexual relationship,
But he
was
didn't.
non-sexual. That's
But you
exactly what you said. Dead ass.
He's
Still
just,
trying to wrap my head around that.
What does
he's
that
just
mean,
trying
man?
to protect his brand.
Exactly.
You screwed
Okay,
up,
quick
bro.
question. Does that hurt your brand? Now, does that hurt? We talked about Kirk Franklin yesterday, but does this hurt your brand?
Derek Jackson, I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt his brand because he's got advertisers. He's got 700-something thousand followers. So he's got advertisers. And so he did that to protect his brand. He's human, but come on, bro.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's one thing when you're supposed to be like a relationship guru. I mean, Doc, that's like if, something like that, hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? If that's your brand, that's what you're selling, right? Is
Right.
how to interact in a monogamous relationship or what women have to look out for with either their spouses or just men in general. And then you turn around.
But key word, men. And at the end of the day, a man is a man.
So you giving them pass.
I'm just saying he's a human, and he's not above doing anything that anyone else is not susceptible to.
But when you set yourself up as
the relationship,
you are above everybody else, and then you go and pretty much backhand your whole demographic, that being black women, you know what I'm saying?
That's no good. So Nick Jones don't think it's no good. You're saying that, hey, you're still human. If we can forgive Kirk Franklin, we can forgive Derek. He don't get the laugh now. He just gets Derek.
Right. Okay.
I don't know how I feel. Like I said, I just think that if that is your brand and that's what you're selling, listen, man, it is
false hope.
It is always false hope. But then again, that's on women to believe everything that he's saying, making him out to be maybe something that he's necessarily not.
Or is he making himself out to be something that he's not?
Right there.
Because are you selling it or is this who you are?
I don't know. But if for a wife,
when you set the bar at a certain height, it shouldn't be a struggle for you to maintain that bar because that's who you are. It's not what you're trying to sell.
I think if he was just honest and be like,
all you have to do is just
cheat
on his wife.
Yeah, well, that too, or just be honest, and be like, hey, I'm a man. I make certain mistakes on certain things, and man, right?
Right. So, what's up, Henry?
Is that Henry Jones?
Henry Jones.
Henry,
what
do you think? Yay or nay on Derek?
So,
wait a minute, I got to do introduction. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We got, and Henry said something good. He said, he ain't Jesus. We all fall short of the glory.
There you go.
True. But if we're selling, if we're selling a brand that is supposed to be teaching those type of things, I do think that there's certain amount of responsibility that he has.
Well, there's a certain level of responsibility. So
and cheating doesn't. I mean, and not only cheating, right? Not one, but there's multiple women coming forward. So there's not just one. I mean, there's
which goes to the fact that he's not genuine. I mean, you can see if a man made one mistake. But then again, if you're thinking about stepping out and doing whatever he did, and you need to address this within your marriage first, that there's an issue.
And you shouldn't put your marriage. See, what I disagree with is during this situation, because he didn't genuinely come out. He got caught. That's what happened. And then the second part of it, you bring your wife on there. That's embarrassing. That should be behind closed doors.
Right.
To me, that's the same thing.
Well, he's trying to say it's a united front.
It's not. He was grabbing her hand,
right,
choking
holding her hostage, right? Yeah.
Capitalizing.
Yeah. So
Right. And then he's telling her, well, you know, we're getting $200,000-$300,000 a year off these endorsements and advertisements. This is your bread and butter. So sit here. That's why she had the rag on her head. You know, she didn't prepare for that. She got out the bed, wiped the sleep out her eyes.
Hey,
yeah.
press record, come down here.
Right.
How much do you want to bet that in about a year's time that she will be filing? That there will be divorcing.
Well, she said she left, and
she's not going nowhere.
The only reason she came back is, I mean, he said, well, this is where your bread's butter, babe. You know, I'm being financially transparent with you, you know. He wasn't taking money away from the marriage, and she's eating good. I'm sure she's driving a nice car, shops where and when she wants to, but the fidelity, you know. So
well, Derek Jackson, I would say Derek, because I just think he goes hard on men sometimes. Men get unfair, so maybe
I never heard of the brother until.
Oh no, he excuse me, some of the things he says, it has some validity and it's true, but then some of the stuff he says is just like, to me, it's like, okay, come on now.
Right. I never heard of him until this thing came up. So how did he get caught?
You know what always happens. You get caught.
The side bitch came out and put the receipts out on deck.
What, hotel receipts or something?
Well, I think it was on
the receipts as far as she came out and was explaining to a YouTube personality who then put it all over the streets. And the chick also provided audio recordings of him asking her where she's at, what kind of panties she got on, all of that. So it was just stuff that, you know, we those who knew this dude was corny from jump, was fraud from jump, we knew. That's why it wasn't no surprise.
Well, so Henry asked who we speaking of. We're talking about Derek Jackson. A famous, is he a YouTube relationship guru?
YouTube personality,
yeah.
Even though we have Dr. Hill, see, this is the issue, see? Instead of going him, go here. That's why that's why Shopkulture is the one y'all need to follow. But anyway, cheap plug, but hey, it is what it is. Real quick, we got the relationship guru, Dr. Mr. James R. Hill.
We got TT and Hallie TT. Yeah, Derek Jackson. So, protecting his brand. Protecting his
brand, actually. And then we got the voice, Mr. Twan, the voice. He's backstage doing what he does. We got Nick Jones in the building.
Hey.
And you got myself, Barry Crosby. And this is Shopkulture. We talk all things relationships. So, yeah, we just had to get it started because that was a pretty, that was a hot topic. So,
oh, my sister's on.
Oh, your sister?
Tina.
Your sister's in the building?
Yeah.
How was this guy in the early years?
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
We can't talk about that. We got some comments. Can you read some of the comments up there?
William Mark said there's a lot of religious people who don't lead a religious life. Look at all those pastors rolling in Ferraris, living in multi-million-dollar mansions.
Au contrary, he claims to be religious though.
Because they're blessed. See,
I need to be blessed.
He got this newfound.
Let him tell him that's his blessing, And but the problem with these pastors is they're not sharing the blessings,
Oh, not at all. Creflo Dollar.
My sister Tina in the house.
Okay, this is my question always, because I always hear that. And my question is this: if you are giving money, because the pastors don't make it like you have to give it to them. People choose to give the money.
Oh no, they ask.
What? Yeah,
I don't.
It's the
Creflo Dollar literally asked his congregation
as he's helped
fund his 747 plane.
Yeah, he needs a new plane.
That's crazy.
Man,
question though, has he saved souls? Has he led people to Jesus?
The brother's name is Dollar.
He's going there.
Come on, you already know what he about.
His wife's name is Taffy.
So Tina asked, is she talking about Derek Jackson, the same guy who was on Oprah years ago, admitting he had a porn addiction?
No, that's Kirk Franklin, I think. Kirk
Franklin. We talked about him yesterday. So
okay,
we went live yesterday.
Kirk Franklin had a sex addiction?
Yeah, porn addiction.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, we are talking about that. We are talking about fraud. We talk about all those type of things. How you doing, V? Thank you for tuning in. She said,
no, Tina, we were talking about Derek Jackson, the relationship YouTube guru who just got caught.
He got caught, all right. So he definitely got caught. So that. So yes. So again, should women or men get relationship advice from people like Derek Jackson?
Well,
should you really, you know what I'm saying, or should you just take certain pieces?
you take what applies to your life, and you can't say I'm going to live the life that he's living. But if he has something of value, you know, you take the good, you chew the fat, you know, you trim the fat, what doesn't apply to you, and try to apply something to your life if it makes sense, you know. But if he's not walking the talk, you can't really compare someone's personal life to what they do as a career. Like, for instance, R. Kelly, the boy's a musical genius.
You still like his music?
I love his music.
You still listen to his
He's
music?
a musical. Yeah, I listen to his music.
Ooh,
and
you
even,
admit that?
yes.
Ooh.
And even if you don't listen to his music,
No, I can't.
okay. Well, let me tell you. Do you listen to Chris Brown? Do you listen to Rihanna? Do you listen to New Edition? Do you listen to Charlie Wilson? Well, if you listen to any of them, R. Kelly wrote their music. So, newsflash. So
And
he went in. Wait, hold on. So are we comparing? I mean,
I'm saying you're talking about your boycotting R. Kelly.
I got a boycott for R. Kelly.
Well, then,
in some ways, you're still listening.
In some ways, but to me, that's a different vibe.
you know, R. Kelly wrote music for all of these
I
artists.
don't know. Does anybody here still listen to R. Kelly?
Yeah, I listen to R. Kelly.
Absolutely.
Oh, you still listen?
Look,
Viewers.
Look, I don't necessarily intentionally put him on, but if I should be rolling and an R. Kelly song comes all across my Spotify, my Pandora, my radio, I'm gonna go ahead and let that play.
You don't feel guilty? None of you guys feel guilty?
I don't feel guilty.
Why would I feel guilty?
I did not
because
piss
of
on
another man's mistakes.
Another man's little mistake. That's
error.
They were conscious choices that he made, but that's his personal life. That's his personal life.
I can't.
It's got nothing
The
to
man,
do.
the man was raping. The man was raping.
He was not. He did
Oh,
nothing.
come on,
He did
man. These
nothing.
girls are underage,
He
dog.
did nothing unconsensual. They were underage, and their parents sent them to R. Kelly.
They're wrong too, but you can't
Well,
give R. Kelly a pass on that. R.
well,
Kelly's disgusting. That's disgusting, man. I'm sorry.
Yo, B, I cannot give R. Kelly a pass on the things that he did. There is no pass for that.
There's no pass. That's
Then
inexcusable.
parents should be responsible, like the Michael Jackson situation. I totally blame the parents too, because the parents were basically pimping their kids.
Right. Absolutely.
I can't get down with what he did. His music that has.
So you can separate the two.
Absolutely.
There are some things. There's some things that we can accept, and some things we can't. I think R. Kelly, that's pretty disgusting.
Well, that's his personal life. That's not his career and what he does.
But that's what he represents.
because
he's talking about it in some of his songs and lyrics. He's talking about some of the stuff that he's doing with underage kids. So I just don't see how you remind me of my Jeep. Is a very.
I don't listen to those songs. Like
you just said you did. No,
Ignition. I'm not putting on Ignition.
But if it came across your playlist,
That's
let it ride, right? Because that's
Oh,
what we deserve.
yeah.
I'm not just singing with the windows down and the sunroof back.
Hey, Nick gave you the glance like we heard what you just said. Okay.
I stand by my statement. The sunroof might be back and the windows might be down with Ignition, but I mean I can't get hype off of it.
Well, I'm just gonna leave it.
Nick decipher what he. Nick is towards decipher.
Okay,
I'm reminded of those atrocities that he's accused of.
It doesn't remind me of that.
Big
Very
word.
well with me.
Okay. That's his personal life.
I'm not coming.
Well, hold on. You are changing totally what you just said about 5 minutes ago, bro. You just said, "Oh, listen to it," and all this. Now all of a sudden, I don't. Come on now.
The man is a musical genius. He's written music for hundreds of artists, hundreds of songs. I'm not going to be kicking it with him. We're not going to be rolling. We're not going to be boys. But do I enjoy his music? Yes, I do.
But he represents.
He doesn't. His music doesn't represent that.
Oh, Doc.
That's,
what do you guys,
that's
viewers?
his personal
Hold
life.
on, viewers. I'm sorry. We this is the barbershop.
Who he
discussion.
is has nothing to do with what he does.
That's right, because O.J. Simpson was a great football player.
I never was okay.
He
What is
killed
that?
white woman.
That's where we headed with
I don't understand. He
That's
killed
right.
a woman. He killed a woman. It was
He
wrong.
allegedly killed somebody.
He killed that woman.
Not guilty.
Okay, let's read some of the comments.
Off the charts right here.
You know how it is.
R. Kelly brought Aaliyah into the spotlight. She was my celebrity crush back in hers. You know what? William, I totally agree. Aaliyah was brought on the scene seemingly by R. Kelly.
But you were younger than Aaliyah
was
too.
it the Age Ain't Nothing But a Number song?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
Yes.
But if you say you're not going to listen to and you're boycotting R. Kelly's music, well, you better boycott Chris Brown, the Isley Brothers, Rihanna.
Absolutely.
I could go Charlie Wilson. I could go on and on and on and on and on all the artists that are singing these R. Kelly songs. So,
I don't know. How you doing, Teresa? What did Teresa say?
Yo, Teresa said, I don't condone R. Kelly's actions, but the climate in the Chi is way different. But he still made some damn good music. Yeah, he wronger than Two Left Shoes, but unless you lived in the Chi, it's misunderstood. At the end of the day, he was a sleazebag, but a musical genius.
Okay, guys, we're going back and forth. We're like, oh, he's sleazebag, but the music was good.
Well,
this is that, but it's still bad.
Because
this is that, so it is what it is.
Because the music is what he does. He wasn't making sleazy music. His personal life, that's up to him. I don't care about his personal life. I don't care about Michael Jackson's personal life, but I enjoy their music.
They're simply saying, learn to separate the artist from personal.
What you are,
Michael Jackson.
And I'm not saying he didn't write great music. He did. But in the same token, don't we have a responsibility, some type of responsibility to hold some of these artists responsible for their actions?
Okay. I got to pause you right there. Oh. Is it not like dealing with your child? You love them, but you don't like what they did.
I don't think that has anything to do with molesting.
So you can't like somebody and not like what they did?
Underage girls at a horrendous level. I mean, it wasn't like one or two. This was a whole ring. It was a pedophile ring, guys.
It just makes some sense that you are able to separate that. You can like somebody or what they do and not like.
What's interesting, if we all had daughters, right, and our daughter was one of the people that been hurt by this man, our tune would be different, though. We wouldn't be saying, well, the music was good, right?
Damn, that was a good ass song, but turn that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have sent my daughter to him.
Well, okay, but what if you don't know, though? What if you didn't know? Your daughter still. Your daughter's
I'm not sending my daughter with an agenda. Oh, he got money. He's a musician, superstar. Da da da. No.
Yeah, but you're talking about 14 to 15-year-old girls that can get out the house.
You're talking about grown-ass parents who are sending their kids over there saying, go get some of that R. Kelly money. That's what it was about.
I think
if they would have protected their kids from that, they wouldn't have been exposed to it.
Wait, so you saying that is the only way that these girls got out?
No, that's not the only way.
No, because
when R. Kelly goes on tour to a concert, the first thing he does is he goes to the local mall. And he recruits all these young girls to come on stage with him at his concert, and it evolves from there. That's how. But as far as the music, can you create music like R. Kelly?
I'm not. Listen, no, R. Kelly got hits.
Right.
He does. But at the end of the day, it's discussing what he did.
It is. It is. And it's discussing what Michael Jackson did. Does that take away from?
But I think Michael Jackson, to me, was a little different. Yeah, I think that what he was. His mistake was laying in the bed with under. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a sexual. I don't think it was a sexual misconduct. I don't think he touched. I just being honest.
Come on, baby.
I don't think Michael Jackson.
Come on,
no, I don't. I just don't think Michael Jackson did that.
You sure you don't want to backpedal out of that?
Say that again, please.
And real quickly, Jabir, what's up, bro? Yes, we do want to talk about it. Actually, Nick Jones, real quick, can we talk about the Avery RIP?
So yeah, I didn't know the dude personally. Avery, what's his name? Avery Wilcox. His life tragically cut short yesterday. Details from what I know is still pouring in, so I don't want to delve too much into it. Just want to pay respects, and this senseless shit that's going on out here. Y'all need to cut that shit out. That is just it's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. So
life is too valuable.
Yeah, he was a talented barber, well known throughout the community. Shouts out to Jabir. I know Jabir, and that's how I got wind of it. I was actually watching Jabir's timeline, and he was just paying massive respects. It sounded like he was holding on, and then he eventually succumbed to his wounds. So, but yeah, we want to hear Shopkulture. We want to, give a shout out, prayers, condolences to the Wilcox family and any and everybody who knew him.
Yeah, definitely shop culture.
27 years old, man. Too damn young.
Too young and
Definitely sorry.
senseless violence in our community, man. Yeah. It's something that we have to address and we have to take control of.
Absolutely.
And hold.
Yo, I have a question, man. With that, like we've heard a lot of the outrage from the Asian population about them being discriminated against and suffering at the hands of violence all over. What do you guys think about all this senseless violence towards the Asian community?
I think violence towards any community based on race, creed, national origin, it's a hypocrisy. It's ridiculous. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary, and it's totally unacceptable. I mean, people are people. Love people for who they are. We have human rights. All us humans are made the same. What if each person, now in a perfect world, each person would have their own unique color? Every person on this earth. There would be no racial discrimination.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we had that. We had the Boulder mass murder shooting in Colorado. So it continues. You know, the gun violence, whatnot, or just violence in general. We don't want to get into a gun debate and all that.
And this was a 21-year-old man who had just purchased these weapons recently and was on the FBI and Homeland Security's watch list. How did this happen?
Yes. So, yeah, guys, man, let's just, stay praying. And I think the main thing is holding each other accountable too, though. I think there's a lack of.
There is a lack of, there's accountability. And like we were talking about on our pop-up, develop these relationships with youth, because the young people these days, more often than not, are misguided. They need a positive direction to go and to grow. And they need us.
Mm-hmm.
They need us. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. That's work. Hey, work. Hey, we understand it. But yes, guys, man, again, thank you guys for tuning in to Shop Culture. And we're talking about a lot of different things. And I think that's kind of the way direction the shop, excuse me, I said the shop. I'm talking about the barbershop shop and all this. But the show is going. Because we have so many different topics that we want to try to discuss and talk, and we need you guys to be a part of that. So again, once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Shop Culture. Make sure you guys like and share Shop Culture. Let's try to get on to some of the stuff that we were scheduled to talk about.
Okay.
We just had a lot to get to. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Good Lord.
This is a question for the fellas.
Look, this came across the desk, bro. We had to put this out there. It came across the desk. The question is,
hey, you see me? Hey, I kept the finger up. That's one of those that you just keep the finger like this.
You ain't stepping out the back of church. Nah. Yo, fellas, would you deal with a bad attitude just
for that?
Because she fine
for her?
For real.
I'm just talking about
like in general, not just that one.
That's simple.
But if she has a bad attitude, how long are you gonna put up with it?
Not long.
Simp.
Not long.
Shouldn't be doing it at all.
No, not long.
Not long.
What's up, Taco? How you doing, man?
That's physically appealing, to the eye, and men are physical creatures. So initially you're going to be attracted to that. But once you get to that bad attitude, it erases all that.
You're immediately
only one person.
You're ugly.
Only one person in this shop was stay with that long term.
Really?
His name's The Voice. That's it.
The Voice.
The Voice.
Wait a minute, Twan,
let's hear that. You deal with the bad attitude.
Look. The Voice got. Hey, look. I never seen him turn red. Look, he's like, yeah, baby.
You never seen a black man turn red?
For the nice cake package, you'll deal with the attitude. I can't do it.
We're not doing that.
Because we're not.
I will figure out where a person is.
Why would you figure it out though?
Why wouldn't I take the time to give somebody a chance to find out?
There's nothing.
If you're disrespectful, you got a bad attitude about life in general and the way you interact with people.
If she told you got to stop liking the Raiders, you got to become a Hawks fan, and you would do it. If you're a sellout, and you would do it. Just be honest with that.
They've been kicked out of my house for less,
okay.
So I'm not even tripping.
Okay,
but someone that has a general bad attitude about life in general, foul mouth, disrespectful, whatever the case, but fine is all outdoors. Physically, Can you deal with that?
That's how y'all get caught.
I'll deal with it for a little bit.
No.
I'll deal with it for a little bit because I want to
being
give
real.
them. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I want them to prove they are a
Holy
better person
shit.
than that.
Hey,
Okay.
William Mark said something. He said the boy's going to need a lot of one-on-one with the doctor.
I got you, Twan. I got you.
That's the best one.
Because it's not sustainable, and you're devaluing yourself if you're putting up with that. You should never accept a bad attitude and disrespect from anybody. And if you're physically appealing, that's ugly, and you're ugly after that. It's just
I totally
boo-boo.
understand that. I
Yeah.
have literally said, yo, if this is the way that this is about to go, I'll go ahead and take this next exit and just go on home. I don't play with that. I want to give you the opportunity, but I don't let it go for a ridiculous amount of time. Like as soon as you put some attitude on that phone call, look, let me go ahead and change all these plans. I'm not doing that.
Even though it's hard for me to.
Well, there's going to be physical
Yeah.
in-person interaction at first, and if there's attitude and disrespect and all that, and you're like, but damn, she's fine. Are you going to put that aside? Can you put that aside because of her physical attributes?
Me, I personally can't. I see fine women every day. I really don't care. You being fine is not a draw for me. I'm gonna need you to have a little bit.
But
more
her
than
being fine is what drew you to her initially, because you saw those cakes and she's yammed up,
Hey, you're cute,
and you're
what
drawn
do you
to
want?
her. So you're saying, you just said
I got it.
42 seconds ago that you're willing to put up with the negative attitude because
For a minute.
she's caked
I think
up.
there's
No, look. I know I get my little spats. Yo, I ain't happy about this. Woo, woo, woo.
No,
But
but
I have a bad attitude about a particular situation. Trust me, I'm a much better dude all around. But in that moment, I may not have shown my best side. I'll let you redeem yourself. But if this is a habitual thing, I see this several times over a couple of days. I'm good, man.
I'm not waiting a couple of days.
Yeah.
If you don't take accountability for your actions, because I'm going to check you on it immediately. And if you don't take accountability, we're pulling over to the curb and you can get an Uber. I'm out.
I think there's a difference between sass, because I can deal with some sass, but like an attitude, like a bad attitude.
Yeah,
like
you're just
energy is
angry.
off and
You're
bitter.
angry and
Yeah,
bitter.
angry.
Yeah. Oh no.
Or talking out of.
I'm not doing it.
The tone. How about the tone?
Disrespectful, being disrespectful. I'm not dealing with that.
No, I've literally been in the store with my girlfriend, and she was off the chart at that point.
Do you have a girlfriend?
We talk about. We
Well,
gotta talk about today, bro.
Oh,
Let's not do this. I was at work all day. Don't do that.
I'm gonna hit my sit my
And
hand.
previously, and I'm like, yo, you real
Shop
off
culture in the
chart right
building.
now. You're real off the chart right now. Like you got to call all the way down. I won't do the bad attitude deal. Period.
Okay.
Like you'll get a chance to show that you're better than that, and if you don't, then it's time for me to go ahead and do something else.
Right. And furthermore, if she has a bad attitude, is generally angry, there's some deeper seated issues that she's dealing with.
Are we trying to find out all those?
No, we're not trying to find out. You need to point her in a direction of getting some
If
help.
she came over your house and she wore that out, or you picked her out and she came out like that, you're not trying to find no deep shit. I'm just being.
But if she's got just a nasty attitude, just disrespectful and generally angry, that kills the whole vibe of anything that was anticipated. I mean, yeah, your Uber.
Okay, but I think
your Uber's gonna be here in 3 minutes.
But I think I agree with what Twan is saying. Well, I don't know about the longevity of it, but we're not going to kick that out right away, though. I just
we
believe
being
that.
real, you digging that out, and then you gotta go.
Yeah, that's one of those. And let's be honest, that's one of those that you might want to try to,
try to reel her in
or get hit right at least one time.
Yeah, but
I was just trying.
That's what I'm saying. Like you dig her out, and then you, like you
But
said,
then-
your Uber is outside.
Yeah, then afterward,
Go on.
kind of the power shifted.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Still angry. So you guys want angry sex, or
No, I think
what man want angry pussy or drunk
Oh,
pussy?
wait.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Mom. Mom, hold on.
I think what
I got a little carried away.
I want the kind gentle.
All right,
I want the kind gentle
DD,
sex where we tell
DD,
her
dog. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry.
Is Mom even watching?
Mom, Duke is like, oh, okay.
If it's angry, if it's drunk, no, we'll catch you next.
Nobody want no
Maybe the kind
beer.
where we cuddle afterwards.
See, tomorrow you won't be drunk, but if you got anger issues, you're gonna be angry the next day. So you can bounce.
I don't know, Doug. I mean, okay, so if we're talking about a one-time occurrence,
No,
it doesn't.
how
really,
do you know it's gonna be a one-time occurrence?
Well,
How do you know it's gonna be a
With
one-time
me,
encounter? And if
well,
she's got anger issues, like my sister, there could be consequences.
you
Yo,
should-
I got a question though.
Now you're losing your windshield, the windows out your house, your
Tina's
tires.
absolutely
Yo,
correct.
fellas, I got a question though. Tina, what would you be expecting your consequences to be?
What did she say?
He said there could be consequences. Dr. Hill
Oh,
said
I-
that part.
I-
And I know you're not listening. Cool.
Oh, I'm not listening. That's just
What
going on?
what consequences would you be expecting to receive, Tina?
Hey, or she's saying that the man could receive consequences in dealing with that angry woman.
It could be.
If she's generally angry and just has a bad attitude, she could stab you or something for no reason.
I mean, isn't that extreme?
Hey, if
That
you're
escalated
angry,
quickly, didn't it?
and anything can come from a person out of anger and just rage. That's just an angry, bitter person with a bad attitude and a bad outlook on life. That's just bad and it's contagious. So get that away from me. Boo boo, yuck. Just go.
Well, I think we're talking about, as the toxic nature
Yes.
of this person.
The toxicity. Ugh, I can't take it. Can't
Interesting.
take these negative waves. Get away from me.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't care how fine you are, you're ugly now because what you exude.
And that has something to do with age too. I think the older you get, you become, that you start looking at situations a lot different.
Well,
But you can't tell me if you're under 30 that you're gonna be worried about all that. You're not really worried about the consequences.
well, yeah, until you suffer them.
I mean, yeah.
Then you learn.
Then you learn, yeah.
What did Will say? William said my army roommate had a girlfriend that tried to pour hot bacon grease on him. See,
Ooh.
that's all bad.
Oh, that's pale green.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Ew. That's an unfortunate grits.
Oh wow.
yeah,
So
nothing nice.
guys, I guess be careful in dealing with
Angry women.
angry.
Let her go.
Bitter.
Pass on it.
Pass on it.
If you think she's fine, then you're a shallow person. If a person can come with you with a bad attitude and you deal with it, you don't think much of yourself, and that takes a shallow person just to be attracted to the flesh and the physical attributes because it's not sustainable.
Not sustainable. Okay, well, let's get to the next topic.
And yeah, that was
The
That was
earning
good.
potential.
yes.
The earning potential.
Now this is we want comments from men and women. Now when a man earns, oh wait, this wasn't the one we're talking about. Okay. Now is this true or false? When a man earns money, he dreams of giving his wife the best. When a woman earns money, she feels she doesn't need a man. Is this true? I feel in a lot of cases this may appear to be true because as women are gaining earning power in the workforce these days, it allows them a greater level of independence. When traditionally more women earn less money than men.
Not these days. Though.
Not these days. That's what I'm saying.
It's totally changed.
Right. Because they're gaining equity in the workforce. They're earning more money. So there's more women are more valued in the workforce than they were 20 years ago. Therefore, their earning power is increased. So now it allows them to be more independent. Now, the thing is, can they be interdependent with that?
Very much so.
Okay. Some can, some can't. Define need. What did we say need? Put that meme back up, Twan.
I just think that the balance of power changes, though. And it depends on what type of man you are. Because I almost think
when a man earns money, he dreams of giving his wife the best. When a woman earns money, she feels she doesn't need a man. Okay. Define need. That's a good question.
you need to be putting up with all the crap.
Because generally it's looked at as a woman needs a man for financial and stability reasons.
Well, yeah, and usually a woman, yeah, exactly. It's the financial stability. Usually that comes along with being married or being in a relationship with the man.
Right.
Because traditionally, the man makes more.
Right. Traditionally. And I kind of agree with that because a woman shouldn't need a man.
In general, at all.
Yeah. She should want him. And I wouldn't want to be needed. I don't want I don't want a woman to need me to be there because for finances. No. But I want to be wanted. I want my woman to want me to be there.
But there's certain aspects of a need that you want that woman to have for you, though, I would guess.
No.
No, not at all? What do you guys think, guys out there?
Because if I'm not around, if I were to pass away tomorrow, I want her to be able to sustain and move on with her life.
You have life insurance. That life insurance policy put in place. So
everybody don't. And that's one thing. Black folks buy life insurance.
Get you life insurance policies. Right? We got some insurance brokers on watching. You better put your link down there. Get on there. But that's a good thing, though. I think the want and need. I think it can be both.
But people stay in relationships more for need, even if they don't want you, because it's a need and they're dependent. It's a dependency thing, and they may not leave because they have that need, and you're meeting that need. I would rather be wanted and have a woman that's independent, that can move on her own, but she chooses to be with me.
Shoot, I don't think sometimes men can't even. Men need the woman too, though. A lot of times people are in relationship. They're needy. They need to be in a relationship.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing, but they shouldn't. You should want to be in a relationship.
Let's get to
what did Rikita say? It's a good thing. Women have more options when we can take care of ourselves. When a man or husband ain't right for you, you don't have to feel stuck due to finances. There you go. You can bounce, and it should be a want thing. But if you don't want to be there, but you need to be there, you're going to be there because that's where you're
a prisoner.
Yeah, and that's where your bread is buttered.
But even if you make more, I can see that. But even if you don't need it financially, you usually are dependent, either financially wise, you are going to be dependent. You got the house together, you got the kids together, so there's still a need in that process.
Well,
you can't just get up and bounce. You still got to think about your children.
But you need to do things within that relationship. But if you were to separate, you'd still be able to sustain your lifestyle. That's the thing about the want.
Well, I think William had a great point. William said, in a successful relationship, both parties should be willing to give.
And absolutely, that's totally right. But it's not always equally yoked like that, because there's
60-40.
Yeah, some people have a lot more to give than others. I mean, if you get with someone, if he's making 140, she's making 50,000 a year. Well, yes, he's got more to give than her. So, is the 60-40 rule going to fall in there, or are you just going to put all your money together and say, let's get what we need and let's do things together, and everybody's happy?
It's supposed to be moving as a unit, anyway.
Absolutely, as a unit.
Well, wait. But why would it be different? Let's say it was reversed, that the woman made 150 and the man made 50. Is he going to be looked down upon?
Let's talk about that. Don't you got a meme up there for that?
How come that's looked down upon?
Right. So this is a question for the guys. Men, are you okay with your woman making more money than you? And ladies, are you okay with your man making less money than you? How does that whole dynamic work? And William says it's not always about money. It's about other things too.
You gotta list those other things, brother.
Yeah,
we gotta list them. It sounds great.
It may not. It is always about other things, but money is usually a big stumbling block in a lot of marriages and relationships that cause people to go their separate ways.
Well, especially if one person is evolving and the other person is not financially, or they're moving in their career and the other person is staying stagnant.
Right.
That's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
So fellas, are you cool with your woman? Can you feel secure? Can you feel the head of the household? Can you feel the king of your kingdom, the leader in your marriage and your family unit, if your woman is making more money than you?
You're not a king if your woman's making more money.
Ooh, that's a step. Oh, that hurt. Ooh. You said if she's making more money, you're not the king?
You ain't the king.
I beg to differ. I totally disagree with that.
So, Barry, are you seeing that person as the subject?
I don't, man. That's I got to hear this one. I don't know, man. I just
I think you can still be the king of your castle by upholding your role as a man and maintaining that role. I don't think a dollar amount.
You don't
when you
think
say that. When you say
subconsciously, though, it's brought up. Subconsciously, she's thinking.
Subconsciously,
she's like, wait a minute. You're telling me no? You're telling me no on getting this? I make 150,000. You make 60,000. You gonna tell me that's not
that's the type of household that you have going on, and you guys have deeper issues that need to be addressed.
But you ain't gonna be able to tell her no. What I'm saying as a
when you're shooting at when you're shooting like that at each other, yeah, there's deeper issues to be addressed. I think.
No, you set a standard, you set a plan, and you set goals, and you know what you guys want as a unit, where you're going, and if you're not up with that, or if she just says no, well, I make more money than you, so you can't say that. Well, then she needs to be by herself. You shouldn't be in a relationship if that's the way you feel.
But relationships do change, and what I'm saying is, if at first it might start off like how you're saying it, like, oh, we're moving as a unit, but then she's going up financially, and you're kind of, let's say, staying kind of stagnant. You think that what you're going to tell her no on her buying power, what she can get?
Why are you saying stagnant?
It could be a variety of different reasons. It could be a variety. Some people are stuck in a career. The career is not moving. We are in a different, you know what I'm saying? We do have a pandemic going on. So a lot of times, a lot of people are not getting raises like that. So
if it's something that you can help, though, why would you as a man remain stagnant? And you brought up the pandemic. Women actually lost more jobs than men did. Just going off of that.
Well, I'm just saying, though, but there are women that are making more. That's what we're talking about. And
sure.
We are.
So what did Jake say? Jake said, yeah, it's something that bothers me. It's hard to lead the way if she, the breadwinner. It would inspire me, though, to step shit up. Okay. So.
Okay. All right, Jake. I see you. How you doing, boss?
But I'm gonna tell you, Jake, don't let it bother you. Because
he's just being honest, though. It does bother me.
Yeah. But I'm saying, get past that. Get past that. Put that money aside. Just because she earns more money, don't feel that you're inferior to her, because you do have that earning power. You are providing more things, and you are bringing value to that marriage, to that relationship, because you're providing leadership, you're providing direction, you're providing security, and you're securing the whole family unit and leading that family in a direction.
Which brings I got a question on this one, man.
Okay.
Raymond said something to the effect of, my fiance and I have a massage business and we charge $100 an hour. She's amazing. She worships me and treats me like a pharaoh. Her money is our money and she spoils me. I'm definitely the man of the house.
Ding.
Question is, okay, you guys have a massage business. What does it have to do with her treating you like a pharaoh? The way you put it out, the first part of that out there was that you guys have a business together. Why wouldn't she treat you as her equal in that?
It was together.
Right. That's the way it was put out there. But then, like, the rest of that was like, yeah, I don't actually do anything, but she still treats me good.
Well, maybe he's just a support factor. Maybe he's a support system for that business.
So she needs.
Maybe he's
like a cheerleader.
Maybe he's one of the main contributing factors that they're in business, that they have that earning power. It's just like
I was literally just trying to gain clarity.
Okay,
I wasn't sure as to what role you were.
What you're providing
actually in. You came out as a United Front, but then she took the lead. You was stuck in last place all of a sudden.
And there are several situations where couples stay together. One person gets out of school, they go into the career field. Okay, well, your wife, she goes to medical school. That's 4 years. Then she does an internship. That's 2 years. Then she does a residency. That's another 2 years. So that's 8 years. Okay, now she's making $400,000 a year. And you're still at 125.
I think, but I think that's a different. What I'm talking about. If you're making 6 figures, that's a totally different vibe than if she's making 150 and you're making 50 to 70.
Pretty much the same.
No, your buying power. When you make over 120, your buying power is different. Than
right, but she's making 400, so her buying power is different.
Yeah, but
it's just scaled up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more comparable than the earlier example I gave, though. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, it might not be some people.
Okay, but I mean,
appreciate you, Raymond. Thank you. He did clarify that for us, and said that he is her assistant, and that he, hooks her up with the massage, hooks up the massage therapist.
Yeah, absolutely. What she said, I know.
Totally cool. Was just trying to figure out, like, where
I get it.
was at. Appreciate
those hand massages, man, much
all
needed
right, Raymond.
and appreciated. So,
yes,
yeah.
and she respects him as the king, and she looks to him for leadership, for direction. And he's the provider. He's the king of the castle. And
wait, hold on, time out. So, and ain't no disrespect to Raymond, but you saying he's the provider? No, she's the provider, right?
No, but
if he's bringing income into the house, he can still be a provider too.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, but she's a provider though.
Yeah,
she's the provider.
She may be the breadwinner.
Who provides for the provider? Ooh,
but she's not going to go out and say, "I went out and bought me a new car. I put $30,000 and bought me a new car because I'm the breadwinner." You're going to discuss that. That's going to be a discussion.
That's a discussion,
right?
And if he says no,
then you're not going to get that new car. And he's going to have a justifiable reason why you shouldn't have it and why we should do something else with those resources.
Understanding the rules and having conversations.
But he actually, this is what he said. She's definitely the breadwinner. What he said.
Yeah, he said that she's definitely the breadwinner, and he said, my point is, if you have somebody special, you should cater to special.
You should just do that.
Absolutely. See that her needs are met, and the same will be reciprocated.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's an interesting dynamic though, because and I think it sounds good, but I do think that there is a difference, unfortunately, if the woman makes way more than the man.
What do you think, fellas? Do you think there's a difference? I don't think that it should make a difference. Who's making what?
It shouldn't. But it is. What I'm saying, that there is a discussion.
Because most of the guys that I talk to, a lot of the single guys, I got a lot of single friends, and most of them are out here talking about these broke women. Always have their hand out. I don't understand it.
They do.
And even if women have jobs, they may have their savings, but the expectation is that the man come out his pocket to meet her needs.
And see,
this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing from the single brothers.
Well, I hear so many single women talk, hey, this man is not even in my, he's demanding, he's not even in my financial in my class financially. Like you have all these expectations and you're not even.
The question is, why are you even entertaining someone that isn't matching your tax bracket?
Right.
If you were,
because you like them. A lot of people do that.
Okay, well,
you care about them. I mean, there's a lot of.
If that's the case, though, let's stay on that. If it's if it's a liking situation, you're infatuated, whatever have you, then finances, money shouldn't be coming into play, especially when in the back of your head you're going to weaponize that against that person, whether directly at them or in conversation, per your example.
Yes.
You can't, say this to me or blah, 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 because I make X amount of money and why are you even entertaining this dude or why are you entertaining this dude?
Right.
Raymond has a great point. He said chemistry doesn't know money.
Right.
Absolutely true.
Right.
Great point. And then Marva said something. She said it shouldn't, but it does. And I agree with Marva. Absolutely. It plays a big part. Even though we want to admit it or not, it's the truth.
Right. And Rakita makes a great point. She said $60,000 can go a long way if a man uses his money wise and not buried in debt.
I agree with her on that.
Okay.
He can make $200,000 and be struggling because he has too much stuff. Or he's just not very responsible with money and he's overextended. Right. Now, a man that's making $200,000, if she's making $60,000 and you see that she's better with money, you put all that money together and you let her manage that money.
Hypothetically, you're right.
Yeah, and it's going to go a long way. Everyone's going to have what they need because you wouldn't be with her if you didn't have that trust factor and you didn't trust her with your money.
Wait.
Clearly,
you show that big booty girl on the thing. There's a lot of people that would be with that and dead broke.
They would. She broke.
Yeah, but they still. So let's not act like that's not a. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Right. But I'm telling you, brothers, it's not sustainable.
It might not be, but brothers are going to do it.
Yeah, because they're visual creatures, and most are weak to the flesh. But if that's what you want,
yeah. Like we say,
Rakita said
It's not
it makes
tricking if you got it.
It's not tricking if you got it.
Come on, man. And you're tricking the
But
one
I'm
way.
still not dealing with that bad attitude. I don't
Okay,
care.
I'm just
You can kick.
Said it plain and simple. Basically, I mean, it was got to be on the same level she's on. It makes a difference at some point.
It does.
I'm
Absolutely.
58.
Yeah.
He needs to make enough to be able to travel and have a nice home for me to be comfortable in when I'm there, and nice transportation, because that's what he will get with me as well.
And she's being honest. Thank you, Rakita. She should be real with
And
it.
you know what that's called? Equally yoked.
Okay,
exactly.
but that's all we're saying. It's not 150 to 50 to 60,000, and the guy might have a child. He got child support. I mean, just being honest with you, he might be a great guy,
Right?
but you are going to take into that factor that
he's coming with that baggage.
He's coming with baggage.
Are you?
And why would you want to
out there? That's
yes.
where you need to start.
Unless you're going to try to help elevate that man or be in it for the long term, you know, that's a consideration.
Right. So say she makes considerably more than him, and he is responsible with his money. Fellas, are you cool with that? Are you cool and confident to be the leader? And women, can you deal with that? I mean, he may have to save a little more to go on a trip to Barcelona or whatever, when you may be able to just do it at the drop of a hat. But then, are you cool with that? Are you cool with sharing your resources?
And that's the difference, because I think men are, expected to share their resources more than women are.
And they do it all the time. And even more often than not, women have children, school-age children, and when men come to the relationship, they know that's a package deal, and they have to be willing to share their resources with that family unit and those kids for what they may want. If they need athletic programs or whatever the case may be.
Financial and time. You got to look at both.
Yeah, you got to put it together. It's a package deal. And are you willing to do that? So are the women just as willing to do that for a man?
Ooh. I want to hear the honest.
And not bruise his ego at the same time.
And I don't think women are.
You don't think so?
It's going to be some, I paid for this type stuff. Is that what,
they were like, he was, the first 3 months it might be, but then after that, they're like, no, wait a minute here. Bruh.
But if you have that leadership style, if they feel secure with you and they trust you as a leader, they're going to put things in your hand. Yeah. I've been with women that have made considerably much more money than me. We went to restaurants that, in my younger days, I can't afford to go to this restaurant. No, but she wants to go there. She wants to experience this with me. So she gives me the money. Here, we're going to this restaurant.
Listen, Doc, you're the doctor. Most of us ain't the doctor. We ain't having it. I mean,
she puts that because she trusts your leadership, and she wants, and she's catering to your ego.
Want to take you to a place
catering to your ego, and she doesn't want to look like, oh well, she's paying, I'm coming out paying.
She wants to treat you.
Yeah, she wants to treat you, and also cater to your ego, and want you to feel like
you always say, long term. Is that stable?
It is sustainable.
Oh, it is.
If she is a selfless person. Hey, Shauna.
I want to hear Rakita. Do you think that can be long term?
Yes, it can be sustainable with a selfless person.
Okay.
Shauna said it depends on what else he's doing. Other things can make up for the money. Absolutely.
Shauna, list it.
Uh-oh.
List it.
You may have to get personal on that one. We don't want you to get personal.
No, just say list it. I mean, hopefully, I don't think she's talking anything graphic.
Right. Well, I mean, that's part
but that's part. Hey, men do it too. The expectation is, when men take a woman out amount of times, do they expect some return? Some physical return at a certain point.
Some sexual favors.
Absolutely.
I mean,
you think that's an expectation?
A return on your investment? Is that what you're asking?
It's not an investment.
You invested your time,
your
energy, your effort, and everything.
But her time less important than yours? No. Is she not investing her time the same as you?
Who's asking for whose time?
Who's asking for whose time?
Oh, we're sharing each other's time.
So you think the man should? And I'm just hypothetically, guys.
Are we sharing the bill as well?
Okay, Twan was real.
Well, if you can't afford it, she put $300.
Let's share.
And she put $300 in your hand before and said, "Let's have a good time."
So I got that.
If you're not,
happy to her. You're like, I paid $300. You didn't get nothing.
But if you're going
I
out,
just want to see if we equally
hold
joking
on.
if we share it.
Regardless, yeah, we're sharing. If you
But
can't
if you say
afford,
regardless, no, you can't just throw it out there like that.
if you can't afford to go to this restaurant,
The restaurant.
be it El Gaucho or whatever it may be, and she puts $300 or $400 in your hand and says, let's just have a good time. She's saying, let's not make money an issue about this and let's enjoy each other's
But
company.
what I'm saying is, shouldn't she do that though?
Absolutely.
If there's no expectation, she should at least offer.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. What do you mean? Well, I mean, if she's saying let's go out and this
you're not gonna give a guy
and you guys agree, and she clearly knows, oh baby, I can't afford El Gaucho. That's gonna be a $300 dinner date. You know, she's like, don't worry about that. Let's just have a good time.
Well, she puts up 100 or puts up 100.
No. You can't afford it.
You
Clearly.
don't have no money.
Oh,
yeah.
I just don't see how
But see, in a
way
way to cater to your man's ego in some way, and you guys have a good time and put money on the back burner, just give him the money, let him pay. Like, you know, the expectation in society is that a man's going to come out with his card.
The restaurants I like to eat out are expensive. So we got to have similar financial taste. It's not a bougie. I like certain food. No, I like certain food.
No,
right?
honestly, man, I understand all of that.
Have I not told you something? And you went, and you're like,
restaurants,
okay,
and I'm like,
this
no,
makes
no.
a difference. So am I going to want to keep doing that? No, you know what I'm saying? If you're dating somebody, that's an expectation. That's something that you enjoy. Why not have somebody yoked enough where they can pick it up sometime?
Right. Well, why let money get in the way? Let's just have a good time, regardless of who has the money. Let's just have a good time, enjoy each other's company. Why put money as an obstacle or a barrier between that?
It should
Let's
be a
just
barrier.
have a good time.
Yeah, if you're giving the
Are
money,
our
it's
bills
not no
getting
barrier.
paid? Do we have food, shelter, clothing? Why let money be a barrier of us having a good time, regardless of who has it? I enjoy your company. Yeah. We enjoy each other's company. Don't put money as a barrier between you.
As long as they're both equally putting in what they can, then it shouldn't.
And that's fair.
Well, what if you can't put in? What if you don't have
find somebody else?
Or what if you
because here's the real idea, Doc. If I'm throwing in $300 on, you know, on the house expenses for this month, and you put in $50, I'm gonna need you to cast your 50-cent vote. Then I don't need you to cast the $100 vote.
That doesn't matter. No. So you're
not equally putting in.
It doesn't matter. You can't put a person's intrinsic value on what they make financially. That doesn't work. It doesn't work.
So you're saying in your setting, Twan, you and this chick, y'all got y'all.
Whoa.
That's what you were speaking to.
See what Rakita said. I've done that before. I gave him money and said, "Let's just have fun."
I'm saying,
but that's great,
right?
That's
absolutely wonderful.
You should.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
But Tina came back at you, Doc, and said, "No way, I'm handing over my money."
She said, "I have no problem picking up the check. If I'm paying, I'm paying." I think in the long run, a woman will come to resent a situation where he can't carry us if he had to.
Man, come on, Tina.
And dude is gonna feel the same way.
And that comes from a successful woman. So
that's your sister. Yeah. Tina's on point. Tina won. That's it. Hey, we're gonna have to end it with that. That's all we're saying. Tina, I agree with you.
Absolutely, Tina.
Mm-hmm. Tina's like, listen, I ain't handing over nothing. When that check comes, you better have some money in your pocket, though.
Then money becomes a barrier. Now, is your relationship more important than money? You know, or if you value money more than your relationship, but that's why it's always good to be equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, if you can, but there are situations. But I think what we also are saying, as a man, because the question was, do you feel like a man? Basically,
right.
And I don't know if your woman's making that type of money and you're not. I would have an issue with it.
That right there, I like that comment.
So you meet a multi-million-dollar real estate developer that's head over heels about you, and you crazy about her. Can that work?
What I'm saying is I would have an issue with it. I'm not saying I wouldn't try to make it work. Hell yeah, she's a hell. Why wouldn't I? But I'm just being honest. As a man, I'd be like, hey, I got to step up.
I could afford.
Yeah, but I got to step up.
I would take her to the things that I can afford. I wouldn't go out of my way like that, but I would show her that side.
But Barry ain't no scrub dude, so we do all.
Okay, but what if she says, "I'm going to go to Barcelona, then let's charter this yacht on the French Riviera, and then we're going back to Paris on our way back home."
So we can charter. We can charter the ferry. We can charter the ferry going over the Bay Bridge.
But that's not her lifestyle. If she wants to expose you to her lifestyle, are you going to be able to maintain your masculinity and roll with that?
But what I'm saying, I'm being honest, I would have an issue with it. I'm not saying I wouldn't try, but I would have an issue with it. So I'll be like, damn, I gotta cut more hair.
So it's going to bruise your ego.
It wouldn't bruise, I mean, I'm just being real.
Okay.
It wouldn't bruise nobody's. I mean, man, come on, let's keep it real. You wouldn't bruise your ego.
But why let money get in the way of?
Honestly, with me, it wouldn't bruise my ego.
Of
but you're a little,
issues of the heart. If 40, you're really attracted to this person, if
you know what I'm saying,
if you date this woman for 3 months and you guys go through a lot of things, you make it emotional, intellectual connection, and you feel this is your soulmate. Oh, you find out she's worth $150 million after that time. Does that change the dynamic? How you feel about
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife? She married. I'm mad that I was.
She married a school teacher.
He's a school teacher. But he's bringing some intellect, and so I mean, he threw that,
Okay, but she's worth $30 billion.
But she sees something worth more than that in him, to where she wants to invest.
But
exactly.
But guys, how many times do we see that? That's a rare instance.
Doesn't matter how many.
But I'm just saying, it's a rare instance. It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't. It does happen, but it's still a rare instance that it happens. Marvin, why would you feel uncomfortable? Well, as a man, I just feel like a man provides, and providing is part of the financial package. I'm not saying,
what if she says, well, if it'll make you feel better, Barry, I'll put $5 million in your account.
Then we're good.
Okay.
And I'm saying my manhood is.
So your manhood.
I have an ego, Marvin. Okay.
So she bought your manhood.
I can be bought.
Exactly.
I'm a politician. I can be bought. All right.
Oh my God, Barry.
Woo!
On that note, guys, this has been a good one. This is Shopkulture.
Crazy.
This is good stuff.
I love that.
Yeah. That came all the way around.
At the end of the day, you can buy my name.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. It was a great discussion tonight. Thank you, Marva.
Thank you, guys. Last words. We got.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Tonight, I just want to address marriage and money, and you can put this as relationships. There's no my money, his money, or her money in a successful marriage or relationship. This is when you're cohabitating. Regardless of who's working, who brings in the most money, it's our money. Do not let money cause divisions in your marriage or relationship. The successful relationships and marriages pool their money together. They plan together, they budget together, they tithe together, they give together, they spend together, and they save together. Successful marriages and relationships thrive on teamwork, and there's no better example of a teamwork than on financial issues. No one spouse should dictate all the family spending priorities, and no spouse should make a major purchase without his or her consent.
Oh God, we got to talk about this.
Do you feel my flow?
Oh, I don't know.
Have a good
night. I got an operative word, Doc. Spouse. Relationship. I don't know.
Oh, if you're cohabitating.
Wait. It's different if
you're cohabitating.
Okay. Well, guys, we got to wrap it up. Man, you had to come with that. We're gonna have to do a pop-up.
Okay.
Because this one, that's a lot of oh goodness.
Yeah, Dominic, what does that say? Paying is a phrase that says one person pay at a time. She can treat me when we take them out. Also, plus, it's only an issue if you think it is. She's saying she trusts you're going to make something of yourself, and she likes you a lot. So he's saying she sees potential in you.
Okay.
So she's willing to.
That's real, though.
Put into that.
That's real, Dominic. That's real, man.
But potential could be a mistake.
It can be.
And never bank on.
I did a lot of potential.
Don't bank on potential.
Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in to the Shopkulture. You know who this man is. The relationship guru, Dr./Mr. James R. Hill.
Thank you, everybody.
I want to thank again the voice over in the corner.
Appreciate
you know who he is. Twan, the voice.
Thank you.
We got our man, watching live, Nick Jones.
In studio, Nick Jones.
Yes, that's his nickname, in studio. And I'm Barry Crosby. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Shopkulture. Man, be blessed and stay safe, or stay safe and be blessed. One of those, whatever. Have a good week.
Stay tuned. Keep watching.